Hello, my writers and readers. Good morning as we are recording this in Tampa, Florida. My name is Vincent A. Lancy, and this is Writing with Authors. And today I'm connecting with an author out in Colorado, recording super early to talk about her amazing book, Preparing for the Jungle, which is an essential guidebook for women searching for healthy relationships. Kiekhaefer challenges women to examine their belief system and internal dialogue on their family role, communication style, and personality type. Again, her book is Preparing for the Jungle, Avoiding Snakes and Pitfalls on the Path to Heavenly Love. And as a psychotherapist, I learned she has worked in the field of mental health for over 20 years and now has developed her book to teach what she knows that is required to achieve a healthy romantic relationship. After working with thousands of clients from different backgrounds, cultures, sexual orientations, and socioeconomic structures, she has found one truth that remains the same. How we communicate and resolve conflict is directly correlated with the success and fulfillment of our personal relationships. I'm looking forward to learning a lot more about this topic. So, Tamar, thank you very much for joining our community of writers.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Of course. Would you mind introducing yourself and saying hello to our audience? And then we'll dive right into book talk.
Sure. Yep. My name's Tami Kiekhaefer, and I have been a psychotherapist in private practice for about 20 years now. And I've worked with so many people, kids from ages 5 and up. And then recently now I'm more age 16 and up. But I mostly work with people around anxiety, depression, domestic violence, trauma. I in relationships, and I started working with people just because I love helping people make the shifts in their lives that they need to learn how to find control over their own lives, and because when you feel out of control in your own life, then your anxiety goes up, and then your confidence goes down, and I think that, then you just start grasping for anything and everything that you can to feel some kind of sense of control, and which ends up spinning you even more out of control. So just to help people find their starting place and really understand what they want going forward. And then a lot of people are in and out of relationships, and trying to figure out, who's the right person for me, and looking for that right person. And I think that, there's so many wrong ways of going about doing it. But really what I found is that it starts with you. It starts internally. It starts with your own internal self. And so really that's what the book is about, is helping people understand what they're looking for, and their confidence points, and why they keep being attracted to the wrong person over and over again.
We need to step back and really find out what the problem is and then work on the solution. Great examples there. Some of the examples you gave that also drive your anxiety are me too. I need to stay organized. Those are just things I know I need to do. If I'm organized, I'm not really stressing because I know exactly what I need to do. I also time block. That's something I found great for my stress relief, where I can visualize it on a whiteboard. I have the times for each day. Every time I wake up the night before, it's planned. I look at the board. I don't waste any time. But did you always want to write this book, or was this something that just came as a culmination of all your work?
I have been, like you're saying, pretty organized. I've always kind of had a structure for my life. And I thought, okay, by the time I'm 40, I want to write a book. And then 40 came and went. And looking back, I think that it happened for a reason, because I was married, and I've got 2 kids. And then I got divorced, and I thought, holy cow, what is going on with me? What is happening internally with me? I've got to figure this out. And the more I talked to my client, here I am, a couples counselor, and then I got divorced. And I thought, I'm giving all this advice out and helping people through their own relationships. And it really became clear to me about writing this book when I had to take a step back, take a look in the mirror, and figure out what is going on. And that's kind of how it all started coming together, with understanding how you grew up, and the communication styles that were role modeled to you, and how you handle conflict. I think I can always tell a couple if they're going to make it or if they're not going to make it about how they handle conflict, because when they shove everything under the rug and then it never gets resolved, or everybody blows up and then they leave the room. Still, you have all these unresolved issues, and communication is huge. Conflict resolution is huge. You've got to figure out your stuff and be able to talk to each other. And really, that's kind of what happened in our relationship, my marriage, is that we just didn't communicate. And we just started growing apart, and I think we're great parents and we're great co-parents, and we're able to be friends, but just didn't work out together. So I just didn't want to go through that again. And it's the worst process in the whole world. So the book, I always wanted to write the book, but then I actually lived the book, and I thought I'm putting this on paper. And so there it was. It just started rolling out, and once I got going, it probably took me a full, probably 10 years in the making, but but probably a couple of years to really get it out on the paper.
Well, thank you for having the courage to share your story. So your book offers both professional and personal advice, both stories.
Yes. I really think you've got to live it to get it.
I can't agree with you more. In many cases, it helps me, even in entrepreneurship. You can only read so many books, and with schooling, I have to fail 5,000 times to succeed once or twice. And then the mental health world, we're constantly evolving, I think, as well. What works for some doesn't work for everyone. So I really tried to shed light on that on a mental health break, bringing guests from all different backgrounds, professions, just to help people who are looking for that one tool to help drive them forward. Speaking of tools, though, we're on the Writing with Authors show right now. Let's talk about some writing tools you can offer our listeners, some writing advice.
Sure. You know how I started out? I just started writing a bunch of ideas on sticky notes, and I must have had, I don't know, a million sticky notes and torn pieces of paper, and just jotting every idea down that I possibly had. And then I actually, over here on my wall, I'm working on my next book, but I've got a giant poster board. I guess it's just, the blank pieces of paper that you can flip over a flip chart. And I just write my ideas on there. And then I like to lay everything. I'm a big paper pencil person. So then I lay everything out in front of me, and I try to organize and just kind of really have a vision about what I want to communicate. Sometimes I even start with my end goal, and I work backwards from that to say, okay, in my book, Preparing for the Jungle, I start at the end where you are out there and actually confident and ready to find that healthy relationship. And then I work backwards. How is it that this person is going to get there? And then I insert tools and techniques throughout the book, because I think that, you know how many times you've read a book and you go, oh, this is a great book, I'm going to get out there, I'm going to do it. You close the book, and then you put it on your shelf, and then you go right back to the same old thing that you've always done. I didn't want people to do that. And so I want them to have tools and techniques. So in my writing, I want to see how can I weave in where people can actually take the actionable steps that's going to help them make changes in their own life. So I think, trying to weave that in there as well.
I think it's super important nowadays to have some kind of hands-on activity in the books. I'm great to hear someone else is doing it too. I gave it a try. And Mr. Lancey Talks Mental Health at the end of each chapter. And then in Mental Health Week, it's an elementary school book. There's spot checks in between the chapters, and then perspectives at the end. Thank you for sharing all of that advice. Now let's find out how to find your book, how to say hello to you, everything you're working on.
Sure. My book is on Amazon, Preparing for the Jungle, it's on Amazon. It's on, to be honest with you, that the Audible isn't fantastic. I think that the voice fluctuations are just a little, but it's really kind of not meant for Audible anyway, because it is a workbook. So, but my website is www.healthyhealing.net. And I've also created an online course for people who want to dig a little bit deeper. So I've got the book Preparing for the Jungle, Avoiding Snakes and Pitfalls on the Path to Healthy Love. And then there's an online course that is available that has videos of me. I personally guide you through each chapter. There's about maybe 7 modules and maybe 5 or 6 videos for each module. And then I've got a Facebook group. It's called the Women's Empowerment Toolkit group. And for people who buy the book or take the online course, you can get into the VIP group where we can do more personal, like question answer kind of things on the Facebook group. But probably healthyhealing.net is the best because it just kind of tells you everything that's out there.
Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for an incredible episode and inspiring our community of writers. Be sure to check out her book, Preparing for the Jungle. It is an essential guidebook. If it sounds like it could help you, be sure to pick it up and say hello to Tamara. We will see you on the next episode of Writing with Authors. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.